Right, so I'm going to show you how to make some banana skin potassium feed for plants. I'm doing this for my strawberries because they're fruiting at the moment. They've got their diddy fruits, so they're going to need a bit of extra help at the moment. So I'm going to show you how. It's one of the easiest feeds you can make. It just takes a little bit of time. So, to start with, I've got 500 mils of water here and 1 banana skin, but the rule of thumb is 2 banana skins to a litre, so you can work it out. Now, you can put the banana skin in the hole, just soaking, see Jack in the background. You're just going to soak the banana skin in the water and leave it overnight as the basic how you make it. But you can put it in whole if you want to, or I usually cut them up because they tend to release more potassium if you cut them up and leave them overnight. But if you leave them in whole, you get more out of them if you leave them longer to release all the potassium into the water. The water is the bit that you feed your plants with, not the banana skin. So you want to get as much potassium for the feed, if you like, out of the banana skin into the water as you possibly can. So by cutting it up, I have found that it tends to be more effective. So I'm cutting mine up today. So it's just a standard peeled banana skin. Just separate it up, and then cut it up into sections as big or as little as you like. Obviously, the more surface area that you've got, the faster it's going to release all the potassium and break down into the water. So if leaving it 24 hours, you'll get more out of the skin. You can leave it longer than 24 hours if you want to make it well in advance, because obviously the longer you leave it, the more potassium will go out into the water. But I wouldn't use it any quicker than 24 hours because you just won't get the best out of the skin. Okay, so once you've left it 24 hours and you want to use liquid, decant the water out of the jug. I've got it in a pourable jug, so I'll just scoop the banana skins out. But if you've got it in a jar or anything, just decant the water out to use. That is the ready to use feed then at that point. So as you can see what I've done so far, the banana skin's just sitting there in the water, so I'll put the lid on and then I'll leave it overnight. It doesn't need to go in the fridge or anything, just leave it on the side and that's fine. So it just keeps it airtight then. It's ideally airtight container because then it helps the process inside more. But if you haven't got one, just stick something on top of a bowl, something just to keep the air out if you can. Right, so that's your potassium feed in its basic form. So leave it overnight now, and then in the morning that will be ready to water your plants. So you can use that as a neat water and then put the banana skins in the compost, or you can use it to condition the soil. So you can just remove, because they'll be all soft and squishy by then, they'll be like broken down. So you can just dig them into plants. Roses love them. They'll be fantastic for roses, anything like that. Any shrubs you've got in the garden, dig them into your vegetable patch. Because anything fruiting now, vegetables, or as I'm doing strawberries at the moment, I've got some gooseberries out there that will probably appreciate it as well. Just dig them in and around, and then they'll break down into the soil and then release whatever potassium is left in the skins and give them a feed and all. So I'm going to leave this overnight now, and then in the morning I'll be ready to water my strawberries. They're looking very good at the moment, but they do need a little bit of help, as always, because they're trying harder at the moment. When they start producing fruit, when they start producing flour alone, they try harder. But the vegetable compost that I planted them in has given them a little bit of goodness to go on, so they should be okay for a bit, but I don't want to let them down. So I'm going to give them a bit of this, keep them going. Right, so I'll show you in the morning what the water looks like when it's done, and so you can compare it to yours, and then I'll water my strawberries. See you then. Here she is a few hours later, so you can see it's changing colour. Condensation's building up inside, so this is why you kind of need it airtight, but it's doing its stuff. She's doing good. So see what she's like in the morning, and she should be ready to watering the strawberries with. Right, so it's the next day, and as you can see, it's all got a lovely shade of browny gunk. It's not that bad really. It smells quite nice. It smells like bananas, funny enough. So yeah, so that's ready to go now. Fantastic. So I'm going to scoop out the banana into a flower pot, just because. So let's scoop them out. So give it a mix up. So as I say, that is ready to use. So I'm going to now water the strawberries with them. So I'll show you that. And then that'll be a nice potassium feed for them, ready to go. The skins that I've got in there, dripping away nicely. I'm going to dig into I've got some blueberries and I've got some gooseberries in pots just behind me. You can see them over my shoulder. So I'm going to dig them into those as well, because they're coming on fruiting really strong at the moment, so they're going to need a bit of help. So I'm going to dig a bit of these in and mush them up a bit, and then I'll dig them in so they can rot down nicely in the containers. So yeah, should be good. But that is, my friend, that is how you make banana skin potassium feed for plants, the natural way. So yeah, I'll show you how I show you about watering the strawberries as well. See, a few nice strawberries growing on them. So I hope that helped and encourages you to start making your own plant feeds if you can. So I've got one on the nettles that I did, a really good nitrogen feed for tomatoes, getting the new growth going, anything that you need to feed early season for the new green growth, a really good feed for that. And the potassium one, the banana skins, are really good for fruiting and flowering. Anything you want to give a good, if it's starting to fruit or even starting to blossom, give it a good potassium feed, and then that will just kick through into the fruit, make it support it nicely. So hopefully that helps, and we'll see you next time. See you later.